Hey everyone, welcome. So, you're learning Japanese, and let's be real, the verbs can feel like a total mountain to climb, right? But what if I told you there's a secret, a really simple system that basically unlocks almost every single verb in the language? Well, today we are cracking that code. Let's get right into it.
No, really. Just think about it. What if learning every Japanese verb was as easy as just sorting it into one of three little boxes? That's it. Instead of memorizing a million different conjugation patterns, you just have to play a little sorting game. It takes something that seems super complicated and makes it, well, simple.
Okay, let's kick things off with Group 1, the Ru-Verbs. I like to call these the straightforward ones. They're the easiest group, the ones that follow the rules. Now, some textbooks call them Group 2 verbs, which is kind of confusing, so we're going to stick with Ru-Verbs. Trust me, the name itself is a huge clue.
And here it is, the big secret rule. It's so simple. All you have to do is look at the sound that comes right before the final ru. If that sound has an I in it, like mi or ki, or if it has an E sound, like bi or ne, bam, you found a ru verb. That is literally the entire rule. Let's look at some examples, so you can see how this works in the wild. Take taberu, which means to eat. The sound right before ru is be. That's an E sound, right? Check, it's a ru verb. How about miru, to see? The sound is mi, an I sound. Perfect fit again. You can see how consistent this is, which is awesome.
All right, moving on to group number 2, the U-Verbs. Now, this is the biggest group of them all. Seriously, most verbs you're going to run into in Japanese belong right here, so getting this one down is a massive leap forward.
So how do you spot a U-verb? Well, it's pretty much any verb that doesn't follow that ru verb rule we just talked about. A lot of them end in sounds like ku, su, mu. You get the idea. And here's the key. If the verb does end in ru, you just check the sound before it. If it's not an I or E sound, then it's a U verb.
Check these out. Nomu ends in mu, hanasu ends in su, and kaku ends in ku. They all have that classic consonant plus a u sound at the very end. They're textbook U-Verbs.
Ah, but here's where you gotta be careful. You gotta watch out for the occasional imposter. Take the verb kaeru, to return. Now it ends in ru, and it has an E sound before it. So based on our rule, it should be a ru verb, right? Nope. This is one of the famous exceptions that's actually a U verb. There are a few of these little tricksters out there, but just knowing they exist is half the battle.
Okay, time for our third and final group. This one might sound a little scary, the irregulars, but I promise you, this is actually the easiest group of them all. You want to know why? Because there are only 2 of them.
That's it. That's the whole list. Just 2 verbs. Suru, which means to do, and kuru, meaning to come. And what's even better is that any verb you see that ends with suru, like benkyou suru, to study, is also irregular. So you just have to memorize these 2, and you've basically mastered this entire group. Easy, right?
All right, you've seen the 3 groups. You know the rules. You even know about the tricky exceptions. So, you're ready to put that new knowledge to the test? Let's do a little quick fire round and see how you do.
First one up, miru. Miru. Take a second, look at that ending. What does the rule tell you?
If you said ru verb, you are absolutely correct. That mi sound right before the ru is the classic giveaway. Fantastic start.
Okay, let's keep this going. How about kaku? Kaku. This one doesn't even end in ru, so that's a pretty big hint right there.
Yes, it's a U verb. That ku ending is a dead giveaway. You're definitely getting the hang of this.
All right, here's the tricky one. Or is it? What about kuru? Kuru. Think back to our tiniest little group.
That's right. It's an easy one if you just remember it. Kuru is one of our 2 special irregular verbs. It just does its own thing.
And for the final challenge, benkyou suru. Benkyou suru. So what do we do when we see a verb that ends in suru? Suru.
Exactly. Since it's a verb that ends with suru, it automatically gets sorted into the irregular pile. You totally nailed it.
So, you've totally proven you can sort these verbs, but you know, the best way to make this knowledge really truly stick is to use it yourself. So let's turn this from a little quiz into some real-life practice.
Here's your mission, should you choose to accept it. Think of 5 things you do every single day. You know, like waking up, reading, working, walking, anything. Then, look up the Japanese dictionary form for each of those verbs, and just sort them. Is it a Ru-verb, a U-verb, or an irregular? This is what makes the language real and helps those rules sink in for good.
And that's really it. You now have the fundamental key to understanding Japanese verbs. It's not about memorizing 1,000 things. It's just about seeing the pattern. The system is yours now. So the only real question left is, what verb are you going to go out and master first?